JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
So this is a fairly slight episode, I think, by JEM standards. It's probably not one I will remember terribly fondly, if I remember it at all, but it's not bad, and it didn't kind of, I didn't find it in any way off-putting like I did the Culture Clash. It's just a fine episode. So, the premise is Mr. Rich Dude has lots of money. So he lives up to his name, and he says, "What could I do with my untold wealth? Could I work to make the world a better place for all who live in it? I could just throw a scavenger hunt, pick a couple people, and, you know, give them a little prize at the end. That would amuse me." Well, so he does. Hey, can you guess who the two teams are? Can you guess? I bet you can guess. Yeah, it's Holograms versus Misfits, but it's actually some of the Starlight Girls, the orphanage that the JEM's Foundation runs, and some Misfits girls. And you might say, Misfits girls? They don't run a charitable foundation. Who are the Misfit girls? Well, Eric, sensing a promotional opportunity, decides to show off for Mr. Rich Guy and his assistant to get the Misfits picked for this scavenger hunt. How he does that is he has Pizzazz and the Misfits deliver food to the less fortunate, you know, hungry kids who are homeless.
Free meals, courtesy of Misfits Music.
Which is good. I mean, he's doing it for the wrong reasons, sure, but even when the right thing is done for the wrong reasons, the right thing is still being done, so... You can take it? You know, glass half full and all that? Oh, but here's the thing, you see. Eric didn't just, okay, for this one opportunity that benefits us, we're going to hand out food to people who need food. No, he hires kids to hand out food too. Now, it's possible these are kids who live on the street and do need the food, but wow, that's just double sleazy there, Eric. Boy. Of course, Pizzazz is having none of it either way because she doesn't like kids.
Oh, Pizzazz, we're so happy to see you again.
This time?
Hey, get lost, punkettes. Eric, get rid of them. I hate kids.
And she's right to, because children are awful. So, nevertheless, we have a team of Starlight kids, which is Bonnie, Chrissy, and someone else, Susan. And you have the Misfits kids, who are these paid actors. One of which has a two-way radio earring that's hooked that Techrat gave them to feed them answers on the scavenger hunt. Because the way the scavenger hunt works is they get a map, they go, they solve a riddle, and they do that 4 times, and then they find a key, and that opens up the treasure at the end of the hunt. So, JEM and Pizzazz are there with their teams just as a chaperone. They're not allowed to give answers or directions. They're just there so that the kids don't die, because kids are dumb, and they're prone to just, you know, face planting, like Sandra. Oh, she's fine. She twisted her ankle. Yeah, she didn't just trip over a branch. She hooked both feet under that damn thing and face planted into the ground and goes, "Ah, oh God, my ankle." We'll get back to her, though. So, the whole scavenger hunt is, what's interesting is the premise is get a map, go to a place, solve a riddle to get a new map, and keep going till you get to the end. Well, the riddles aren't really riddles. They're just more trivia questions. Like, how many voyages did Sinbad go on? Who did Alice meet in Alice in Wonderland meet at the tea party? That's not a riddle. That's just it's just a trivia question. So anyway, JEM's girls have to figure that out themselves. Pizzazz's girls have a radio hooked up to Eric and Techrat, who feed them the answers. Although it's kind of sad that Techrat and Eric had to look up these answers on a computer. Like, you know, they come upon who's the Odyssey guy? Is it Odysseus? It's like, on my Odyssey, what is the name of the one-eyed monster that I bested? It's like, oh, heck, I gotta look up Homer's poem now and figure out what the name of the one-eyed monster. Oh, Google, Google, Google. Dude, it's a Cyclops. Come on. It's not like the Cyclops had a really hard name like Frank. It's like, oh, what was the Cyclops? Oh, Frank the Cyclops. No, it's just a Cyclops. So they're, but I mean, it's a scavenger hunt for kids, so whatever. Well, of course, the Misfits girls aren't just happy cheating via, you know, having the answers fed to them. They're also rude little craps. You know, there's actors playing Robin Hood and Long John Silver, and they're like, all right, dipstick, give me the riddle. Pizzazz would be proud. So, they also, of course, try to, they ditch Jem and the girls in a hedge maze, and they steal their map, trying to get them stuck. Jem and the girls are trying to cross a river via a log, and so they're like, we could sabotage them. So they just grab the log and then make like King Kong and just try to shake the log, and of course, Bonnie takes a gainer into the river and floats down the river, but there's a actor playing Hiawatha? Some Native American dude that scoops her out into a canoe and deposits her on shore. And she's like instantly dry anyway, so... no, the animators didn't, you know, say, we don't have enough money or time to draw wet Bonnie. No, they said that she has mutant healing power, or mutant drying powers. Because the Starlight Girls are mutants. Bonnie has the power of never wet, and Chrissy has the power to phase through solid objects. So Chrissy's like Kitty Pryde. Neat. So, when Sandra, I think her name is, face plants and hurts her ankle, however that works, Pizzazz and the Misfit girls just leave her to die. Because winning is everything, as Pizzazz is fond of saying. And so, of course, the Starlight Girls come across her, and they adopt her to their team, because they're not going to leave someone out in the, well, on some rich dude's property where there's a bunch of people roaming around, so I'm sure she'd be fine, but still, it's not a nice thing to do. So they take her with her. They get to the final area... at the same despite the Misfit kids cheating, the Starlight Girls and the Misfit Girls end up at the end of the scavenger hunt at the same time. So Mr. Moneybags, he says, okay, one final riddle. And he actually asks a riddle this time. And that's probably, unless that exact riddle exists on Google somewhere, that's not something you can really look up on a computer. But then Eric gets anxious and trips over a power cable, which fries the computer. And if you trip over a power cable and your computer explodes, there was something wrong with your box to begin with, TechRat. I'm just saying, you know? Use Linux, you won't have that problem. I don't know. So, Sandra, the girl who face-planted and hurt her ankle and was abandoned by the Misfits but adopted by the Starlight Girls, she knows the answer to the riddle. It's a book. Reading Rainbow. And the Misfits are like, yay, we won. And she says, like hell you do! I'm no longer on your team, you abandoned me. I'm with the Starlight Girls now! And so the Starlight Girls win. Because, pizzazz, winning may be everything, but cheaters never win. When's that going to sink in, pizzazz? When's that going to sink in? So, the Starlight Girls win, and the grand prize is books! You get to pick a signed first edition of whatever book Mr. Rich Guy has in his private collection, and the Misfits are like, what? Books? What a waste of time. And of course, JEM sings Open a Book. It's Reading Rainbow. Which is a nice little song where the various girls open books and are magically transported along to the land of make-believe. Oh, books are awesome, and they genuinely are. And Bonnie opens up Clive Barker, and she's like, oh, yeah. Then the other two little misfit girls, you know, they like drag him over, and they're like, look how cool books are, and they're like, okay, alright, books are pretty cool. And then they try to get Pizzazz to open a book, and she's like, no, not the book, oh no, not the book, no! She's like a damn vampire warding off crosses. She's not having any of that. So yeah, there's our episode. It is totally fine. But yeah, let's move on to the next one and see what else the Adventures of JEM and the Misfits has in store for us.